Welcome back, our dear viewers. The ancient Egyptian pharaoh, King Ramesses II, is one of the new kingdom's greatest kings. He is in Paris as part of an international blockbuster exhibition. Tourism Minister Ahmed Aissa said 145,000 tickets were sold so far at the opening of the Ramses the Great and the Gold of the Pharaohs exhibition in Paris before moving on to its next destination, Sydney, Australia. The exhibit featured the sarcophagus of Ramses II, which has arrived in Paris and was unveiled on Monday. It will be displayed in the French capital for the first time in nearly 50 years. At a press conference, the minister said the exhibition will continue for 5 months, expecting the event to draw more visitors than King Tut exhibition that attracted 1.42 million visitors in 2019. To shed more light on the issue, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Mr. Sayegh, our tourism expert. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, what are your expectations for the turnout during the exhibition period for King Ramesses II?
Well, actually, that exhibition is one of the best ever that we have organized. It's a huge organization that will create a lot of incoming of tourism in Egypt due to its variety for the choice of countries where the exhibition is going. It's an exhibition that is going for many years, and that one is presenting a huge number of treasures that is going to 180. And from there, visiting the major cities across the world is really important. As Ramses and the Pharaoh's Gold exhibition, when it has been to Houston Museum of Natural Science, well, it has brought a lot of clients. On the day of opening, 8,000 tickets has been sold.
Yes.
And we have to know that now in Paris, the capacity of the exhibition is like 10,000 per day. So it's really attracting those people who are really interested in the art and culture. It's a beautiful archaeological finding when you visit the inside of it. All visitors over there feel the beauty of that extensive collection of Egyptian gold antiquities that date for more than 3,200 years. And it has a collection of the oldest known pure gold statues of Pharaoh Khafra. Also, it has gold coins, it has perfume bottles, it has gold beaded necklaces, and a lot of symbols are exposed in that exhibition. So, at a global point of view,
Yes.
let's say it's one of the best ever inauguration that we have succeeded to make it. Equipment that has been used and the transfer of the two showcases, the sign panels, the security, all measures that has been made are really perfect, and it points the Egyptian efforts to promote the tourism one more time.
Yes.
So for those 180 original pieces, there is some of them that has never left Egypt before. So it's a real exceptional collection, a breathtaking treasure that has been exposed between the Royal Mosque, the furniture, the untouched tombs. The exhibition offer a virtual reality experience to discover the fabulous temple of Abu Simbel and the tomb of Nefertari, and that's very exceptional event in any exhibition that ever happened. So exploring the great Pharaoh's kingdom when we are in Paris, that's a huge and beautiful event. That exhibition that has opened since April the 7th, has brought almost 150,000 clients. And that's even for the museum itself a huge success. So let's say that that exhibition is one of the best experience for the box and the public didn't expect it to be that beautiful and that, let's say, important. So, as it will continue to travel all over the world, that will make for us not only good sales for our tourism, but it will bring back the beauty of Egypt in the eye of every single client getting inside of those exhibitions.
Yes. Mr. Sayegh, the exhibition Ramesses the Great and the Gold of the Pharaohs is staying in Paris for a few months, and it will be moving to Sydney. How do you see the significance of this exhibition, in particular, its presence for a few months in Paris, then it will be moving to Sydney, Australia?
Well, no doubt that this exhibition will positively impact tourism in Egypt. And the question is, how will the impact and the turnout of the French tourist to Egypt? So let's say that the contact that has been done for the promotion of cultural tourism in Luxor and Aswan has a big impact of this exhibition in tourism. And we have a lot of work that has been done, and we can really witness that the French market is considered one of the most important tourism markets that are interested in cultural tourism, which means that the average spending is higher than other markets, especially that they prefer to come in long stay, not on the short one. Also, for sure that the Italian market is a good one, the Spanish, the English, and so on.
Yeah.
But let's get back to that one that, as in Paris, we are really excited for that event, especially that all magazines, newspapers are talking about the exhibition, and it has been covered by the media, and the official opening has been done with artifacts, and a lot of good tools has been used during that time. So those stops that Ramses is doing all over the world are, let's say, very important for our tour operators that are operating the French market and the international market. And the cooperation between our ministry and tour operators is heavily discussed in order to make all our destinations really full of tourism. It's a beautiful strategy, and all the time they are reviewing their lines in order to ameliorate, and even our airlines are cooperating. The civil aviation is working to encourage improving the tourism investment climate in Egypt, and they are working to develop and improve the tourism experience in Egypt. And from there, we are very proud that there is a lot of programs and joint marketing programs and promotion. We are very touched by the efforts and plans that are undertaken by the ministry to raise the efficiency and upgrading of its supervisory role and to develop the controls regulating tourism activities. So it's a beautiful way that contributes to developing the level of quality of services provided to tourists in the Egyptian tourist destination.
Yes. Also, the exhibition is featuring the sarcophagus of King Ramesses II, which has arrived in Paris and was unveiled. It will be displayed in the French capital for the first time in nearly 50 years. What is the significance of that, Mr. Sayegh, and how we can be using that? King Ramesses is one of the most famous kings of the modern kingdom. So what's your take on that?
Well, the coffin of one of ancient Egypt's longest ruling pharaohs, Ramses II, that has been unveiled as the centerpiece of a major exhibition in Paris, that's an exceptional loan to the French. The ornate sarcophagus will be, let's say, the star attraction in between the 180 items. That piece has never left Egypt before. So the fact that it's displayed at the Grand Hall de la Villette in Paris as the ruler of ancient Egypt, and as you all know, it was like between 1276 and 1213 BC. So it's the period that we established domination over Nubia, and the temple of Abu Simbel has been built that we exposed over there. So the coffin over there, and before it was the mummy that has been exposed. That's a gesture, let's say a gesture of thanks for the work of French scientists that has helped to preserve Ramses II's mummy by treating it against fungus when it was exhibited in Paris in 1976. So the Egyptologist Benedict Loyer, the exhibition scientific advisor, he said, from a historical point of view, this is a piece of inestimable value. It's not the mummy, but the coffin of Ramses II, a wooden case that has been protected for 2,900 years. So even the French cultural minister has talked about it as it's an extraordinary opportunity for children and the public of all ages. It's completely different to see it in real life rather than seeing it in pictures or on the internet. So Paris has offered a rare opportunity to study inscriptions that really beauty.
Yes. Do you expect the number of visitors to exceed here the previous exhibition of King Tut that attracted 1.42 million visitors in 2019?
Yeah, King Tut is an exception. Let's say is the dream of everyone. Ramses II is a beauty, but yeah, they're talking about that it could exceed. But one of the reasons it could exceed that we are no more in the COVID period.
Yes.
So clients and people can travel more, but nothing can overcome King Tut. Even if we made better organization, better exhibition, King Tut is the masterpiece.
Indeed.
Is the piece that, I mean, it's a name that has been well known all over the world as the exceptional treasure. But Ramses II, he's well known for his person, not for his work. And that's why when we made the exhibition, we never called it Ramses II. We called it Ramses and the Gold of the Pharaohs, which means we extend the name of Ramses to the 11th Ramses and some other work that is going with it. And we are not limited to one pharaoh during that exhibition. And from here comes the difference in between both of them. So it's a unique, really, and exceptional case.
Yes.
To expose and to promote tourism through all of the Ramses and not through one of them.
Yes. Mr. Sayegh, what are the most important items included in that exhibition from your point of view, other than, of course, the sarcophagus of King Ramses II?
The gold. When we see the gold that has been exposed, that's a beauty. When we look to the pieces, we can understand the worker, the jewelry of Egypt by that time, and how they were that advanced working that gold. To see what they were wearing, the feeling itself that this necklace has been worn by a king or by a queen, that's a really beauty. To see that they have been to those details in the work, to attach, to extract, to cut. It's a beauty. You know, by that time they didn't have tools like our days, like the microscope or the tiny tools to work. It was very primitive, and even so, they succeed to make things that in our days we wonder how they did succeed to do it. And from there, that the gold of that exhibition is really a masterpiece.
Yes. Sir, to what extent are the international exhibitions an important factor in attracting tourists?
Well, it will attract because all magazines and newspapers are talking about, so it will be a fashion to go to Egypt to complete what they started to see. When you go to an exhibition and you see a collection, you start to buy books, to read articles, to get interested to visit the country from which it came. When a client goes with his kids to see The kid will like to see the tomb, so they'll come to Egypt to visit the tomb itself and to see the temples that has been done by the same pharaoh. You know that by the Ramses family, Ramses III, for example, he made the temple of Medinet Habu. And we have the Ramses in Luxor, West Bank, that has the biggest two statues all over the old history. Abu Simbel, that has been created in the mountain of Abu Simbel, with the statues of 20 meters height each. He has completed Karnak and Luxor temple, and both of them together make the biggest ever temple all over the world, number one, to be together united. And from there, whoever who will go to the exhibition will start to read and will start to get interested, and Egypt will be his first destination to visit. And Upper Egypt from there will have more and more clients, and boats will be working, hotels will be working, even the entrance of the sites like tickets, everything will be functioning as we are expecting.
Yes, Mr. Sayegh, what in your opinion are the best choices for other pharaonic items to go on display in Paris or other capitals?
Well, actually, that's the maximum that we have sent. We cannot send more than that because it was already forbidden to send any pieces out of Egypt. And that's an exception to promote tourism that we have accepted, that some of the pieces get out of the country. Otherwise, as you know, to ensure it and to make sure that there is no trouble during the transportation, nothing will break and nothing will get stolen or nothing will get hurt. So usually it's forbidden that any piece get out. So it's an exception, and I don't think that Egypt will go further than that. And it was just to make a push at the moment that was very hard after the COVID and the Russian-Ukrainian war. So it was a must, but an exception. Egypt will not allow more than that. We are already very generous to other countries to let them see our monuments out of our country.
Yes, indeed. Sir, how can we actually utilize the exhibition in Paris and other exhibitions worldwide in order to promote Egypt's culture and identity to the whole world?
Well, as an identity, what we are exposing is exposing the pharaoh period, not the actual period. So people, when they will come through those exhibitions, it will be only for the art and culture. It's not promoting the beaches, for example, Hurghada, Sharm el-Sheikh. It's not promoting the 4x4 in the desert. It's not promoting the oasis. So other work for sure will be done to promote other destinations and to target other kind of clients. But that kind of exhibition is very limited to that point, which anyway is the main subject, because Egypt has been, when it started to receive tourism, it was based on the cruise and the bus tour between Aswan and Cairo. And later on that we started to promote cities like Hurghada, Sharm el-Sheikh, and to have 4x4. So yeah, those are other aspects of tourism that can multiply the incoming of tourists and will distribute the tourists around the country in order not to be concentrated in just one major point. And it's very important to make that variety, because each destination will attract a different nationality. For example, Russian and Ukrainian and all Eastern Europe prefer to go to the beaches as they don't have the sun and the beaches and the warm weather. We have also to see, like for the French, the European are having in their schools at the 11 and 12 when they are 11, 12 years old, they are studying the Egyptian pharaonic period. So according to each country, we promote the tourism, because there are different influences according to nations, continent, through the geopolitics that is working on.
Indeed, Mr. Simon Sayegh, our tourism expert, thank you so much for your precious input. Thank you so much for being with us today, talking about this very important exhibition which will be taking place in Paris. Our dear viewers will go to a short break, and after that we'll be back with our program, so stay tuned.